Hey everyone, it's Amy here with my Chat with Amy show, and just wanted to first of all say hello. And it's been a couple of weeks since I did my weekly show, as I've been traveling like crazy, and it's just been an incredible month so far. So launching it with Disneyland. I was in Disneyland for 5 days, and if anyone has ever been to Disneyland for 5 days, I would suggest that you go for 4. It's a lot of energy to go for that long, but I had a really great time. And then I came back home, and then a week later I flew back out to Connecticut. And actually, I wanted to share the story about what happened in Connecticut before I go into the topic for today. So if you're joining me live, I would love for you to say hello so I can see who's on here. And I'm really excited to share with you some of my best tips on how to attract clients for your personal Facebook page. But before I get into that, I just want to share a quick story, because I had one of the most epic weekends of my entire life this past weekend, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Hey Jennifer, thanks for joining. So what happened was I flew out to, so let me back up, for 90 days, I was a part of this awesome challenge called 90 Days with Jesse Itzler. And if you don't know who Jesse is, some of you have seen me posting about him on my personal Facebook page, but he is a self-made billionaire, serial entrepreneur, super inspiring guy. He was actually a rapper back in the 90s. And then he owned Marquis Jets. So he launched and sold Marquis Jets, which was a private jet company, and he sold it to Warren Buffett. He also bought and sold Zico coconut water to Coca-Cola. What else did he do? He was the author of Living with a Seal. So just an incredible person, right? He's just done a lot in his life. He's also married to Sarah Blakely, who's the founder of Spanx, and she's also a self-made billionaire. So these are two really incredible powerhouse entrepreneurs who have created such amazing businesses or bought and sold businesses throughout their life. And they're just living a really great life. And it's not just about the money, but they're so humble, and they're so giving, and they're so connected. And so it was really great to experience this crazy challenge. So it was an endurance challenge for 90 days, training to go fly out to his house in Connecticut and then do 100 hill repeats on the hill that goes from his house all the way down to his lake. Hey Sarah, hey Megan. So I know a couple of you who are in my group program have heard this story, so bear with me. So what happened was, so I fly out to Connecticut, right? I fly out to JFK, New York, drive out to Connecticut with 4 other entrepreneurs. We road tripped it. It was so much fun. And then we met up with this group of entrepreneurs who are in my mastermind group and in my community. And it was really fun, first of all, just to be surrounded by such driven, purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And we were all staying at Jesse Itzler's house for the weekend, so that was also a really great treat. He was just such a wonderful host. He had a great staff there waiting for us. And here's what happened. We had our endurance challenge on Saturday morning. Okay, so we've been training for 90 days. Now, you can't really fully prepare. I'll also speak for myself. I can't really fully prepare, and I don't use the word can't ever. But in thinking about, in order to really recreate that hill, you have to find the exact hill, which I just haven't done. And also, to be quite honest, at some point I fell off my consistency of my training, and then I was on again, off again, on again, off again. So I'm like, okay, but I'm committed. I am committed out of my mind to do the 100 hill repeats. And so we get started. They've got a DJ playing. We're going. And long story short, I was kind of going slow and steady, up and down this hill. And there were people that finished at crazy insane times, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, even 3.5 hours. And here I was chugging along, and I got my cramps on my legs. And I was getting worked out by a massage therapist. And at the end of the day, it was, at the end of the morning, I should say, Jesse made an announcement that at 5 hours, he was cutting off the endurance challenge. So if you weren't complete, just leave it on the table, leave it on the hill. You've done the best that you can. It's all good. And so I was like, oh no, I'm not going to finish my 100. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going until he says stop. Right? So I was trucking away, going. And then I got to 79, and I was like, and he said, Amy, go ahead, do one more so we can get to 80. So I did it. I had tears in my eyes. For any of you who have ever done endurance training, I don't know if you've experienced this, but when you get to that finish line or close to it, it can be emotional. At least for me, it was emotional. And I was also totally bummed out because I really wanted to finish my 100. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna celebrate, it's all good. And the rest of the day we were boating and having a great time, but I just couldn't get out of my mind that I did not complete my 100 hill repeats at this challenge. So that night I walked up to my boyfriend Ken and my friend Crystal, and they were chatting, and I was like, you know, like they were talking about even their own goals. Like Crystal actually had a goal of achieving and breaking through a record of doing 155 hill repeats. And she was 20 away from her goal, because after she finished during the day, she just kept going and helping other people. It was amazing. So she was 20 away from her goal, and I was 20 repeats away from my goal. And she just looked at me and she said, I'll go back out there tonight with you. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, let's do it, right? So we got back out on the hill like 11, I was after 11 o'clock at night. It was dark out, and we just started going again. And what was great about it was that as we kept coming back up to the house, there was this patio, like this big, beautiful outdoor space, and the crowd of the people that I'd raced with in the morning started to grow, you know, and they started cheering us on and cheering us on. And by the last 100th hill, they were singing the Rocky theme song and cheering my name, and it was just one of the best experiences, you know? So even though I was not the fastest person, I was not the most fit person, I wasn't perfect with my training, I was still able to finish strong and also have the breakthroughs that I had. Yeah, Jennifer, yeah. She said, oh my gosh, she went back out. Yeah, so what was so cool about that, so one of the biggest breakthroughs that I had was, first of all, just being vulnerable. You know, usually when I'm in my element, like in business and speaking and connecting with people, like that's just where I thrive. Like that's my comfort zone, you know, like I'm just happy to do it. I'm confident and all that. And the reason why I even signed up for this challenge, well, was because I wanted to surround myself with this level of mindset and business brilliance and spend a weekend with all these people. And I knew as a part of signing up for it, I was also committing myself to this crazy hill challenge. And that was vulnerable, like super vulnerable, because that's where I don't feel as confident. But what was cool about it was that I finally got how important it is to just allow yourself to be vulnerable and allow yourself to ask for help. Like I literally had Ken, my boyfriend Ken, he was literally like pushing me up the hill. Like there's a last like steep part of the hill, and he's behind me on my waist, like pushing me up, and I'm just kind of like trucking along, and there were other groups like that were helping those of us who were a little bit slower, you know, on the hill. And there was no shame in it. It was just like, why not allow ourselves to be helped in the areas that we struggle? And it also helped me relate to my clients and my audience better, because I know that sometimes I think that marketing messaging and copywriting and speaking and enrollment conversations are really easy, and I recognize that it's not easy for everyone. Not that the hill was easy for anyone, I don't think, but I think it felt less challenging to some than others, as they were more in their comfort zone as like super athletic fit people, or they just really broke through their mindset during the training. So anyway, I just wanted to start off with this story because it was one of the most epic experiences. Hey Sarah, yeah, I wish you were there too. You know, it was really amazing. And so the other golden nugget I want to share before I get into today's topic is that when an opportunity presents itself to you that really aligns with your vision, and you get this intuitive feeling of, you know, like it might be out of my comfort zone, or maybe I don't want to do the training or the actual hill, or what is it going to be like staying in this big house with all these people, like especially for my introverts out there, right? It's like I got to stay like room with people. I mean, he had these huge big fancy bunk beds, but you were rooming with other people in the group, and you know, there are a lot of things that may have been uncomfortable for people. However, if you have an opportunity that presents itself that is out of your comfort zone, but something that you know just might be one of those unforgettable experiences, like Jessie calls it, you know, building your life resume. Like what do you want to look back on in your life? Like, do you want to look back on just kind of a routine that you were in your whole life? Or do you want to do some crazy shit and just put yourself out there in a way that you never have? That's when I feel most alive. You know, that's when I feel like I did that. Like I really did that. Like that was crazy. And I did it. And I learned something. And there were parts of it that were painful, and there were parts of it that were beautiful. And I know that later in life, I will remember doing this crazy hill challenge from this year. And so, yes, Jennifer, yeah, building your life resume. Yeah. So this is where we all get to grow and share like What is it that you want to accomplish in your life? Or what's one thing that really scares you that will get you out of your comfort zone and get you to do something that you never thought you could do? And I think sometimes what we do is we look at other people and say, oh yeah, it's easy for them because they're them. You know, like you'll think about someone that you might look up to in the business world or in the fitness world, like, oh yeah, well that's them and that's not me. And every single person, like everyone, even Jesse, like I talked to him about how he has this upcoming event, right? He's never hosted his own event where he was a speaker. He's been a speaker, but he's never hosted his own event as a speaker himself, like hosted it where he's a speaker and has other speakers there. And he has one coming up in mid-September, and the same stuff came up for him. He's a self-made billionaire, right? Like he's a self-made billionaire. Still, the same stuff comes up for him. What if I don't sell out the tickets? What if what if people don't get the value out of this event? What if they don't like it? Like, all the same stuff comes up for him as it does for me, as it probably does for you, right? Hi, Olga, yay. So anyway, I just wanted to share that story because it was such an inspiring and impactful experience. And I know that more likely than not, you have an opportunity in front of you right now, or you have had opportunities in front of you where because it wasn't convenient or because it was expensive, right? It was an investment or the timing of it just wasn't right, or, there's all sorts of stuff that comes up. I mean, probably nothing I do is convenient, right? Like when it comes down to growing my business or breaking through my mindset, just this year alone, I've been in, Ascension Leadership Academy for leadership training. I'm in a PhD leadership training with Michael Strasner right now. These are all flying from Seattle to San Diego or Palm Springs multiple times a year. Running my business. I also do support coaching with Shanda Sumter with her Pace Club. And I did this Jesse Itzler thing. And I'm, in this great relationship. And it's like, there's so much. And I also know that I've been having so many breakthroughs throughout the year. And if I had made decisions based on what was convenient, there's no way I would do the things that I've been doing. There's no way. So I just wanted to share that because I know how easy it is to be like, somebody's invited me to this thing, but that means airfare and hotel and an investment of a ticket or a program or a coach you want to work with. It's never convenient. Like I'm hopping on a plane on Sunday, heading back east, right? I live in the Seattle area, heading back east to Wisconsin, of all places. I shouldn't say that. Of all places, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I'm going to spend a full day with Pete Vargas's team. So I'm doing this whole speaking training, full-on VIP intensive training with Pat Quinn, and that's going to prepare me for the Zone event and any other stage I speak on after that. Not convenient and a big investment, and I'm so excited. Like I'm just ready to go. So, hi Kieran. Okay, so to bring it around to today's topic, are you guys excited? How to attract clients through your personal Facebook page. So lately I've had entrepreneurs coming to me saying, I'm trying all these different strategies and I'm stressed out because I'm not having that next breakthrough of clients. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're always looking to market themselves more. So building their audience and their presence online and doing all of those things are great, right? I love all the fancy online marketing funnels and doing summits and doing online challenges and reaching out to people. I love all that stuff. And what I'm noticing is if people are not having their next big breakthrough in their business when it comes to attracting clients, then they're focusing on the wrong things. They're focusing on continuing to stay behind the scenes and, having all this content go out there in the world, and they're not actually attracting clients. Like they're just like, well, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this, and what should I do next so I can, have more people come to me? And then they're not bringing on new clients. And I'm like, what are you doing? So what I ask them often is, how many offers have you made in the past week? And how many offers have you made in the past month? Like if you're wanting to bring on new clients, how many offers are you making? And when you're making those offers, even if you're getting no's from people, what's coming up in the conversation that they're saying no, so that we can talk about your enrollment conversations? Yes, Kiran, or going to the next shiny object. I think all of us entrepreneurs, I believe that deep down inside, we all have shiny object syndrome. oh, I need to write a book, I need to speak on the stage, I need to do this next, online marketing funnel, I need to do, and you start spinning, and then nothing's happening, and then you wonder why you're going further into debt because you're investing in all these things and not actually bringing on clients, right? It's an investment if you actually get a return on your investment. Otherwise, it's an expense. Hey, Douglas, yay! Oh, it's so fun to have all you on here. So, here's what I wanted to share with you. One of the easiest ways to attract clients is through your personal Facebook page. Now, some of you might say, well, I'm not really active on my personal Facebook page. So in that case, you get to start growing your friendships and your connections through your personal Facebook page. I know a lot of you watching are people who actually have a pretty abundant friendship circle. And I do air quotes because if you have thousands of friends, there's a chance that there are a lot of them that you actually don't know. I'm one of them. I have thousands of people. I haven't hit my limit. I guess they cut us off. I've heard this many times at 5,000. So now I'm being a lot more selective on who I say yes to. And I also know that I have attracted so many clients just through my personal Facebook page. Now, the key thing is to not be salesy on your Facebook page. Like if you feel like you're putting posts out there on your personal Facebook page that are really salesy and you're wondering why nobody's getting back to you, it's because really when it comes down to it, your personal Facebook page really should be for personal posts. And your business page or public profile page, in the Facebook world, they actually call that business page your Facebook page. That should be for all things related to your business. So, and in all sincerity, like Facebook has terms and conditions where if you really cross the lines too much, then they will actually suspend your account. So I always want to be careful with that myself, and I encourage you to be careful with that too. And there's also still the opportunity to attract clients to your personal Facebook page by building relationships. So, for those of you who have seen me on podcasts or heard me on podcasts or seen me on telesummits or being interviewed, you've heard me talk about the power of deep connection. And it's funny because I see Ken's watching right now. So hi, Ken. I know Ken's over in Boston right now, flying back this evening. And we were recently talking about my marketing messaging around the power of deep connection. And he actually did this Google search, and anytime he typed in like deep connection, it was all about relationships. He's like, but your messaging, if you use deep connection, then you'll notice that it's all about relationships and love coaching and dating and all that stuff. And he's like, it's all about relationships. So would it be confusing? And I'm like, that's my point. You get to build a relationship with your audience. Like that's the most important thing. If you don't have a connection with your audience, if they don't know, like, and trust you, then good luck bringing them on as clients. And if you're not actually talking with them and having a conversation and welcoming them in, then you're just gonna find yourself still spinning. So when it comes to your personal Facebook page, there's a few things that I wanted to share with you that have worked really well for me. And you're welcome to take notes on this and start applying it if you haven't already been doing things like this, and see what happens. Watch what unfolds over time, okay? So one of the things that I do is I really think about what I want them to experience with me. Like if I think about my own personal brand, what words come to mind that are authentically me? So even if it's not related to business, right? What do I want them to know about me? Because people are enrolled in people. There are a bazillion business coaches, marketing coaches, influential people out there that are really great. Like why would they choose me over them? They're really great. And I'm the only me there is. I feel like Dr. Seuss. Right? Like why fit in when you were born to stand out, right? So you are the only you there is. And so instead of getting caught up in like, oh, it's such a saturated market and there's too many coaches out there. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, like, yeah, so tell me about how you got into the coaching industry. Isn't it so saturated? I was like, I don't even think that way because I'm the only me. So nobody can be me but me, right? And I know that my way of being is going to resonate with certain people and not resonate with other people. And thank goodness there's other coaches out there to serve those people. Like I'm glad, right? So my point is just remember that it's all about being authentically you and thinking about what do you want your personal brand to say? In fact, you could even make a list of maybe 5 adjectives that translate or showcase who you are and what you do, right? Like or what you want people to know about you, right? So for example, Some of the things that are important in my life are my relationship, my friendships, traveling, living an adventurous lifestyle. What else? My dog. You will see posts with my dog. And some people are like, wow, you post pictures of your dog. I'm like, yeah, and people love it. In fact, when I travel and go to events, people ask me how Bella is. I'm like, how do you know my dog's name? It's because I'm willing to put her out there in the social media world, right? So I just think about what are things that represent who I am just as me? What are the things I'm into that people can feel a personal connection with? I love fashion, so I'm a part of, once or twice a year, I live a totally different life, and I'm one of the hosts for Metropolitan Fashion Week. So that it's all about the couture gowns and hair and makeup and being around these incredible designers. Hey, Catherine. Hi, Aziz. So just think about like, what are the things that represent you? What are you into? And people will feel a connection with you. If you're a parent and you love volunteering with things with your kids, showcase that. If you are into travel, people love seeing where you're headed. That's why as soon as I hop on a plane, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to share where I'm going. And it's not that it's like, oh, I'm so great, I'm traveling. It's just letting people know what I'm up to in the world and why I'm doing it. And then, as you've maybe heard me say, anytime you put messaging out there in any way, just think about the two questions, my favorite two questions. What's in it for them and why should they care? What's in it for them and why should they care? So if you're sending emails out to your audience, or if you're posting on social media, so instead of saying, look at me and the food I'm eating, you can tell the story about the restaurant that you're in, or why you feel so grateful that you are at this amazing restaurant, or why you're so grateful for this opportunity to speak on a stage, or maybe if you're funny, be funny, just think about like what will exude you. So that first step is to really think about what are the words that describe who you are and what are the things that you're into, and just make a list of, you could just start off by journaling about it, or bullet pointing, what are the things that make up who I am and what I'm about. So for me, again, it'd be fashion, fitness, business, entrepreneurship, adventure, relationships, friendships, just all the things I love to do, okay? The second thing that I'll say is to think about what is it that you're here to do in terms of making a difference in this world, right? So I believe that every single person that's watching this, whether you're on live or on my replay of this, is a purpose-driven entrepreneur. So whether you've launched your business or you've been in business for a few years or even 10 plus years, there's a why behind what it is you're doing. And I just say, why not share with people what it is you're passionate about? I'm constantly telling people, I'm so passionate about giving your vision a voice, because far too often I see people that hold themselves back from actually doing the very thing that they're here to do. What's your purpose? What's your calling? What are you passionate about? And be willing to just speak in your own voice. So sometimes I'll see people that'll go from the corporate world into the entrepreneurial world, which was me, and be too formal about it. And it's like, is that how you would talk to your friends? And if you're working with individuals and entrepreneurs, then why not just be your authentic self and share what your passions are? And if you are enthusiastic like me, sometimes I feel a little redundant in my wording, but this is how I speak. So if I'm super excited, I'm gonna say, I'm super excited about this, or I can't wait for this. That's my energy coming through. So again, think about what's authentic to you, what are you into, and who are you? What do you want the world to know about you? What type of interests do you have? And the second thing is, what is your purpose and your passion, and be willing to share with the world what that is. And then the third thing, I didn't even prepare for this because I'm talking about this stuff all the time. The third thing I would say is when it comes to actually attracting clients, everything starts with a conversation. So just by posting and liking and commenting, you're not actually starting a conversation. So as you post consistently your updates in your life and showcasing it in a way that benefits the people who are watching your life, seeing what you're up to in this world, then notice who is liking your posts and comments. Notice your posts. Notice who's commenting on them. Notice who is really excited about what you're up to in this world. Some of them might already be private messaging you and you may not even see it. So what I do when I'm in a place of growing my clientele, which is pretty consistently, I notice who's paying attention to me. I look at their Facebook page to see if they are an entrepreneur and get a sense of who they are, what they're about, what kind of business they have. Do I think they just might be an ideal client? And even if they're not, they might be connected with other people that are my ideal client. So it's not about being attached to any one person becoming your client. It's about being committed to connecting with people and being committed to make a difference any way you can. So what you can do, what I've done and what you can do, is you can look and see who's been following you and just start a conversation. Write that down. Start a conversation. I think far too often people focus on all the marketing, which I love marketing, and they don't really start any conversations, and they wonder why they're not growing their business. Start a conversation. This is online and in person. Start a conversation. If you fly a lot like I do and you're on your own, talk to the person next to you if they seem open to it. Obviously, if they're just like, headphones, don't want to talk, but you can always say hi and where are you headed, or oh, are you heading back home, or are you traveling? Like, just, you already have a common thread because you're in the same place. Start a conversation on Facebook. Send a private message. Like, literally, if you took my advice today and started a conversation with 5 people on Facebook today, I'd be fascinated to see what would unfold for you. You never know how you might be able to help each other out. Just start. And you can even start it out. Sometimes we're like, well, I don't know how to start a conversation. I feel awkward. So if that's you, if that's what's coming up for you, then again, look and see look at one person's profile, see what they're about. Like, wow, they seem like a really cool person. You can start a conversation like this. Like, so Megan, I know you, but if I was writing to Megan, I would say, hey Megan, I just want to say thank you so much for all your positive energy and for liking and commenting on so many of my posts. I really appreciate it. That is starting a conversation, right? I'm thanking her. And more likely than not, she will write back because she's been following me or connecting with me and say, oh my gosh, yeah, you're welcome. I just love what, it's just like if you were at a social event or a networking event or a wedding or, a speaking engagement, it all starts with a conversation. So you could even take this on as a challenge. You could decide, you know what, I'm going to start 5 private message conversations every single day this week and see what happens. Most of you are wanting to grow your business, right? Or most of you are wanting to build your network. This is how you can do it in the most simple ways possible. The other thing you could do, and this is something that I used actually last year. Some of you are in my same community, so there was a referral contest, and I was like, I need to reach out to, and I get to reach out to more entrepreneurs. And what I did was I looked at my Facebook page in the chat section to see who's on live. When you see the little green dot, who's on live chat right now, like who's there in front of their computers or on their phones right now. I think it's amazing that we get to know that in this day and age. So you can actually not only start a conversation, but start a conversation who is live on chat right now and have that immediate response from that. That's like super instant gratification, right? And you just never know where that conversation will lead. And the other key thing is, if it gets to a point where it makes sense to jump on a phone call, just go back and forth. Be highly generous. Like, if there's something that you could do to help them, share tips with them and be there for them and share with them what has worked for you in your industry, and be willing to jump on a phone call with them. I think too often we hide behind technology. So when you get to jump on a call with them and actually get to know them, whether it's on phone or Skype or Zoom, you might make a new best friend. You might meet someone that you get to do a cross promotion with. You might meet your future client. You just never know. So just start a conversation. So is this helpful? I would love to see some hearts, some love, see who's on here. Let's see here. So I see Jennifer and Catherine, Aziz, Anahita. And do you have any questions? Like, what questions do you have for me? I'd love to know, is this something that you will apply? It's all fun and games until unless you actually apply it. So what is your biggest takeaway so far? I would love to see it. Anyone? What else? Oh, okay. So 2 other things that I wanted to mention just as general announcements, and I'll look at your comments as well. I actually have an additional limited number of VIP tickets to an event that I'm speaking on the stage in September. So if you're interested in joining myself, Shanda Sumter, Jesse Itzler, Rob Kosberg, Natalie Jill, Pete Vargas, if you want to join me at this epic event, it's September 25th, 26th, and 27th in Palm Springs, then comment below and I'll send you my own personal link so that you can be on my VIP list, because I'm also hosting a VIP soiree for any of my guests. but I'm speaking on the stage at my favorite event of the year, and I would love for you to join me. So yeah, so definitely post below. Okay. Challenge starts like, okay, so Kiran says, challenge sounds like a great start. Yeah, so I invite you, like, for those of you who are like, oh, I don't have enough clients, and I wish I knew how to attract clients, and I'm stressed about not having my next big breakthrough, no matter what. Some of you are already at 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, and you're just kind of plateauing. Others are just wanting to get to that 5,000 or 10,000 a month, really great place, right? Take the challenge, like write down today, I am committed to starting 5 conversations every day this week, or I guess it's Thursday, every day for the next 10 days or 5 days, whatever you're willing to do. Start a conversation, a private message conversation with 5 people every single day for the next 5 to 10 days, and just see what happens. Deborah says, sounds so helpful, and yes, I will apply them. Awesome. Kiran, I rarely post on my Facebook page. What would be the best way to start to post regularly for a few days and then start a conversation? Okay, great question. So I realize that not everyone here is as hyperactive as I am on Facebook, right? So just start. You know, you could decide to at least post 1 post a day, and you can mix it up by posting whether it's just words, or you could post you know, a photo of your life, something that's happening in your life right now. And remember, it doesn't have to be these big extravagant things. Like sometimes when I share this kind of content with people, like, oh, but I don't travel like you do, Amy, or I don't speak on stages. I'm like, okay, I've done Facebook Live videos where I'm walking my dog. Like I'm not even in the video. Like I started it one day. I've done this a handful of times where I literally have my phone where it's facing out, because I live in Kirkland, Washington, and there's a beach really close to where I live, and I walk down the beach and it's water, it's beautiful, right? Where I'm focusing out, and I'm like, hey everyone, so all they hear is my voice and see my dog, right? I'm like, hey, if you want to join me for, you know, a walk with Bella, you know, just wanted to share, it's like a quiet morning. I'm like, yeah, just in the quiet morning, I just have these thoughts, and I just want to share with you my random thoughts of the day. So yeah, so you can post things like that. So post just, Kiran, don't just post for a few days, like post consistently. You just post consistently and see, and even be vulnerable to say, you know, I haven't really been as active on Facebook, so I've decided to start sharing my life more often and see, like, find out what others are up to and share with you what I'm up to. And that can just, again, start a conversation, you know? Deborah, takeaway, be myself and start talking to more people. Be helpful and don't look for what they can do for me, but how I can help them. Yes, Deborah. Yes. I'm so glad you said that. I hear entrepreneurs saying so often, I just need more clients. I need to get more clients. I need to persuade or convince more people to work with me. Think about the words you're using. Energetically, it's off alignment, right? Don't just get to get, you know, give. Just be a generous person. And then also value yourself, so that when you make offers, you actually value what it is you're offering, so that you're not giving away your services per se, but give tips, give strategies, give inspiration, or be entertaining. Like whatever your give is, just put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. So yeah, is this helpful? I'm glad that I'm seeing your posts and hearing what your takeaways are. It's super helpful for me. Plus it helps me to also understand what are the areas you need the most help with, because as I grow my Facebook Live videos and chat with Amy, I can answer those questions and provide the topics you're looking for. Okay, so I announced the event. So if you're wanting to hear more about the event that's happening in a month from now and you want to join me and be on my VIP list, comment below right now to say, yes, I want to learn more about it. I know some of you watching are already going to this event, so you're probably like, I'm good, I'm going to be there. The other thing is that I know I mentioned on a recent chat with Amy about the big new epic experience I'm creating for my tribe, which is all of you as well, which is called Powerhouse. And my team and I have been working diligently behind the scenes. And what's so exciting about this is that people have already been signing up without me even promoting it. I just have been talking about it. Like I said, start a conversation. And when you're really enrolled with what you're doing, it's easy to talk about what it is you're doing. So Powerhouse is, it's my most exciting thing. So I have decided to rent this beautiful house on the ocean in Florida. So it's on Captiva Island, Florida in February. And I'm inviting powerhouse entrepreneurial women to join me so that we can spend 4 nights, 5 days in this beautiful space where we get to stay together in this house and also wake up and do yoga in the morning. And I have my personal chef. Actually, Megan's been on here this morning. Megan's gonna fly down, be our personal chef for the handful of days that we're there. And we're going to actually use this as a work retreat. So if you've been working on writing a book, or you're wanting to create a new online marketing funnel or a webinar, or start allowing yourself to really dream bigger and come up with your plan for the year, this is the most epic experience we're gonna have to set the stage for the rest of the year. So I'm actually going to officially announce it online today. Oh, I'm so excited because I have a webpage that Olga Placido, who's also been watching today, has created. It's just stunning. It has all the images of the house, all the information. And what's really cool about it is that for 90 days leading up to Powerhouse Florida, so we'll kick it off in November, we're gonna jump on a group coaching call, and each of us are gonna share our declarations and commitments for the week. And we're also each going to share what's the number one area of business that we want to have a breakthrough over the course of those 90 days. So I cannot even wait to get started. As I mentioned, people have already been opting in. They're just Amy, I want in. So even before I had agreements ready, there's I'm in. So I just wanted to share this with you, because if this is something that resonates with you and you're I want to be a part of an intimate group of powerhouse women and be a part of these calls every single week and fly out to Florida in February. I don't know where you live, but I live in the Pacific Northwest. So flying somewhere sunny during that time of year is highly appealing. And then Olga's gonna be there, so we're gonna have photography, and it's just gonna be talk about a way to post on social media that attracts people. So all that being said, if you want more information on that, let me know, because I know it's gonna sell out quickly. And I'm going to be posting a link about it so you can learn more about what it is we're up to. So on that note, I'm going to wrap this one up. I know it went a little long today, but thank you so much for joining me. And if you've loved this, I would love for you to share this so that I can help more people, help more entrepreneurs, and they can also use the tips I've shared today about how to attract clients to your personal Facebook page. And I'll look forward to seeing you soon on Facebook, or hopefully in person. Talk to you soon. Bye.